In April of last year, a prospect reached out to us and they said that they needed help setting up a system that would automatically retarget all of their dormant CRM contacts using email campaigns. Now, for us, this wasn't an easy task, as there were a lot of different variables that we had to take into account. But when everything was said and done, after 3 months, we managed to realize almost $300,000 worth of opportunities with only one campaign. In total, we set up about 8 or 9, and in this video, I'm going to show you one of the examples. I wanted to share this video as it gave me a lot of different perspectives on how we could use the data that we got through our clients and use different variables in our advantage. I learned a lot and I hope you will too. So as you can see here, we reached out to not even 1,000 leads in 3 months. So 23rd of April to 19, so a little bit under 3 months. Our average reply rate was 16.7%, so almost 17%, 167 replies, 66 opportunities, and almost $250,000 worth of opportunities. This was only one campaign. In total, we had about 8 or 9 set up. So as I said, this was a pretty difficult task. So in this case, they send us all of the data. We had about 7 to 10,000 contacts sent our way, a lot of different documents. And how it would normally work is completely different. Normally, at least back then, we would source our data through SaaS products like Apollo. Here in Belgium, we use a lot of Busy, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, B2B SaaS tools. We would collect that data, put everything in Clay, enrich if need be, format everything, make sure everything is perfect, to then put into Instantly. And then Instantly just handles your campaign. You may have to make sure you get the right content in there. So the body of the mail, I'm going to show you some examples that we use for this case. But that's how we normally work. In this case, we could not do this. As I said, they send the data our way, so we used their data, which meant that we had to clean over 7,000 contacts in one go. We did not have a lot of time. They contacted us at the beginning of April, and as you can see, we started the 23rd, about 23rd. With sending or starting the campaigns. So we did not have a lot of time. All right, so as you can see here, this was the tool stack that we used. In total, we used more than 4 tools, but these were the 4 main ones. At first, we have Miro. Miro is, in my opinion, a really slept-on tool. It's great for strategy mapping and just planning of whatever you need for your project. So we use it for that. Then second, data cleaning and enrichment we did through Clay. I have yet to find another tool that gives you better enrichment than Clay does. It's also really good for data cleaning, as they send a lot of different documents to us, the prospect, and we had to make sure that all the duplicates got taken out and just the regular data was set up correctly. We also had to make sure that all of the email addresses were still active, that the people that were about to contact, some of them hadn't been contacted for more than 3 years, so we had to make sure they were still in business and all of those things. We did it through Clay. Amazing. Then third, Airtable, segmentation and copy organization. Because of all the variables, we could not make all of the different campaigns in Instantly, so we segmented everything with Airtable and also attached the right email copy to the right contact. So yeah, and then Instantly, of course, campaign execution, as we still use, and then sending infrastructure. It's really important, and it's a really slept on or underappreciated aspect of lead generation and cold outreach, really, is having a good sending infrastructure, having good domain names, set up correctly, DNS and whatnot, and Instantly has a feature, done for you accounts. I'm going to leave a link in the description to go to their resources, so you can set it up for yourself. It's, as a starter, it's perfect. Actually, it's perfect. So then, as I said, different variables. I'm just going to go over the variables first, and then later in the video, I'm going to show you the copy that we used for the different campaigns. Some examples. These are all the different documents that they send us. So people that participated in 2023, and then we go a little bit down, and it's like unanswered offers, offers that were lost, people that came in from lead info, so the tracking of the website traffic, cold with contacts, leads that still have or still are in follow-up in the sales department, and many more. So that was variable number 1. And variable number 2, which is a very important one, for every lead, they attached the reason why they would or why they didn't buy the courses in the past. So I have 3 examples here. Some were too busy, some had started other courses, and some were just really skeptical. All right, so then we've gotten to Airtable. Airtable, I still use it sometimes. It's a great way of just combining some of the capabilities of a lot of capabilities that Excel has, but then put some automations in. I use it a lot for interfaces in our backend. It's a really nice tool. Definitely recommend it if you're starting out. So as you can see, different documents, and then all the objections that the people. So we mapped them all out. We made sure that all the objections were formatted the exact same. We did that in Clay. As some, there were a lot of spelling mistakes, and some just said skeptical, or others were like, I'm not interested and is skeptical, and they were combined. So we had to make sure everything was formatted. Then we put everything in Airtable. And then over here, we made 3 more columns, mail 1, 2, and 3. So then it's just, or it was the case that we combined the way that the leads came in with the objection that they gave. That brings me to the examples of the copy. So I'm going to zoom a little bit in. This is secret sauce. So if they said they were too busy and they participated in events in 2023 and 2024, one of the first mails that they would receive is this. You attended our event a while back, and I remember you mentioning that it was simply too hectic at the time to get started with. But I was wondering, has that idea of looking at your business different stuck with you in the meantime, or didn't you get out of it what you hoped? I'm curious to know if that still resonates with you. You let me know something, and then a PS. PS, for some reason, that's the first thing people will notice in your mail. So you just put something in that's kind of captivating or cute or funny or just interesting, you know? For example, if there was anything you felt was missing at the event, please let us know. We'd also appreciate learning from that feedback ourselves. So just being honest and just showing that you really care about their opinion. Then a second mail that they would get for a different variable this time, they started a different course. So then we would say, you started a different path, no problem at all, of course. I just wanted to invite you to our new event on Tuesday. New insights, dinner, and conversations. I hope I get to welcome you there. And then the third mail, we always make sure we have a sequence of 3 mails. I'm going to show you later when we get to instantly. So this was for people that came to the events in 2023, and they were pretty skeptical. This is a longer one. We always make sure that the last email is a little bit longer, and also make sure that the different resources that you have set up, is it some free value, or in this case, the link to book a ticket, is set up in the third email. Why? Is because the first email is to really open the door to get the spam filter to recognize your domain name and your sending account. And if that is the case, if it recognizes it and it passes, then you can use the second and third mail to send them some links or whatever. In this one, we said, like, I still remember you seemed a bit hesitant back then. Maybe you thought interesting, but not for me. Understandable, especially when daily pressures take over again. But I often hear that initial feeling comes back later. For some, it did spark something. Like several participants who went on to expand their operations or achieved significant growth, one opening a second location and another saw their business grow by 30%. It's always really important when you get to the copy of your mail, use some use cases. Like I'm doing in this video, I'm using a use case to show that what I'm saying has credit. you know, my credibility gets higher. And then I'm sending this to you one last time on redacted date. We're organizing a new event. Come listen once more, and afterwards you can still decide. Here's the link in the meantime. Feel free to book if you're interested after all. And then you send the link, and then you say thank you and bye. And that's it, really. That's what we do, or that's what we did for this prospect. And with that, we're at the last part of this whole project, the instantly step. I've been using Instantly for 2 years now, and it is just one of the easiest tools to use in my arsenal. It's one of the tools I've been using for the longest, and I don't think it will change yet. I mean, and I don't see a reason why I would replace it. For beginners, it has some great done for you accounts. The setup is super seamless. The support is really good. And this is not sponsored. I mean, this is my first video, so it's not sponsored. But yeah, they do some great job at Instantly. But yeah, it's really important you set up your domain names correctly, DNS servers, all of that. So just grab one from Instantly and they'll do it for you. Then the campaign itself, normally we would put the copy of the email right here, but as I said many times in this video, this was a different case, a lot of different variables, so we just grab the ones from Airtable, the mail would be put right over here, then we go to Instantly and we just paste them over here. And if you go to leads, you have to make sure that everything is formatted properly and the right leads get the right email. I mean, it sounds so obvious, but I mean, we had to learn that the hard way, that it isn't obvious. All right, and with that, we're at the end of the video. We learned a lot from this project. It was one of our first big projects that we ever done. And the key lesson that we really learned the hard way here, because we had to set up in a very short amount of time, so we had to learn the lesson really fast. But the key lesson that we learned is that sometimes you just have to take a step back and say to yourself and be honest to yourself, like, is this workflow going to work for this particular client? One of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten or ever heard is like, when it comes to operations, make sure that 80% of your workflow is set up exactly the same for every single client. You can just almost copy paste them. And then 20% of the workflow should be customization, and the 80-20 rule. It's a great piece of advice that I got. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna make more videos like this. Thinking of my next video is gonna be like a state of lead generation in 2026, so stay tuned for that, I guess. And then I'm gonna leave all of the links here down below. I made the Notion document that goes over this whole entire workflow more in detail. So I guess grab your free resources if you're interested, and I'll see you in the next one.